Thank you for joining me on configuring your Microsoft Bookings. Last week we reviewed how to activate your Microsoft Bookings license in your Office 365 environment. This week we're going to go over the steps that allows you to configure your Bookings tool to support your scheduling needs. So let's begin. After your license has been activated and you click the link for Microsoft Bookings, you'll end up at this page. From here, your home page gives you a quick view of some of the bookings that you have available to you in the last 30 days, but also you can do an export of a 120-day view of all your activity. The next is your booking calendar. Your booking calendar shows you your actual bookings that are scheduled for you. The next page is your booking page. This is where your booking page link will be obtained so you can share with others all the services that you have available for your booking. Your customers. It's just a list of those who set a booking time with you. It's captured automatically. There's nothing you have to do on this page. Staff. Booking allows you to add staff members to the services that you offer. So this can be used for tutoring centers. It can be used for office fronts where users want to come in and speak with someone on specific items. So you can set your service for a in-person meeting or a virtual meeting. And we'll go into that later on. Services. These are where you create what services you want to offer to your user. And business information. Business information is your default information about your business, your name and your hours. This is where we will start. Now, as you notice, we are using my account that already has been established, and I have several services and meetings already scheduled. So this will give you a view on what activity occurs after the settings have been made. So in the business information area, you'll see here, that's your standard business information that will be displayed to your users. Your business name, your address, your phone number, your email address, all of this was supplied during your license activation. You also can add a logo here that users will see. On the right hand side here, you have your business hours. We are recommending that users use the college's standard business hours because that'll be your default for your settings. Now, you will change this in your services area if you deem so for a particular service. You can have something set that goes outside your business hours, also work in conjunction with those. And they're simple to change by just clicking on the information, the field, and changing the field that you want to use or the time you want to use. You can modify those here. You can actually go and delete one if you don't want one. For instance, putting the Saturday time in here, but I don't want that, so I'm going to delete it. But even if I want a Saturday time, I want two particular times during that day to meet that I'm available, I can make that adjustment pretty quickly here by simply going in and setting an end time for that time I set, and then changing the start end time for the second time set, which should be 1 to 5 or 1:20 to 5. That's how easy it is to change and modify. After you make your changes, you hit save up top because it saves the configuration changes you made on this page. You save that, and now you can go to the next area, which will be services. The services area allows you to set the services that you want to offer. If you notice, I have several services set up here for in-person consultation as well as virtual meetings. Now, once you set these services up, you title it whatever you want, and you can create them based off of your needs. If it's topic-based or it's project-based, it's entirely up to you how you want to create your services. Now, to create a service, all you have to do is go to Add Service. Once you click on that button, you have the options to add one, but I'm going to take you through one that's created already so you can see the information already filled in. Now at the start, you have to start keying in your service information. If you notice, your service name is asked for here. Then you put a description in for that name. And you can also put a location there. Because it's a virtual meeting, I usually put MS Teams meeting there. But then you have to turn on the online meeting option, so a Microsoft Teams meeting will automatically be created for this service. You then can change your duration of your meeting. It can be an hour meeting, 60-minute meeting, 15-minute meeting. It's entirely up to you what time you want to set for that. Now, I caution you, if you have several meetings, you might want to have a before and or after buffer time. You might need 15 minutes in between a meeting so you can have time to prepare for the next one. Or it does not allow someone to book a time just after you complete another meeting. The maximum attendees option allows for you to set the number of participants you want in a particular meeting at one time. By default, this option is 1. If you add a number greater than 1, after you save this, you will not be able to go back and change this number to 1. You will have to delete this service and recreate it. But let's move down to custom fields. If you click modify here, you open up to an option page where you can choose what options you need for your customer information. Now, this information is what will be captured when someone wants to schedule time with you. Remember the customers field? All this information will be captured for the customers field. Everything that is bold or grayed here will be something that is asked. Customer email, phone number, customer address, customer notes. If you don't want one of these to be asked for the user to complete, you can click that option so it's no longer grayed in. You also have the option to add your own questions, so you can have different information up here based off the service type. After you complete this here, you can choose OK to go back to your settings. As we scroll down to see other options that are available, you have Enable Text Message Notification for your customers. It is recommended that you leave this unchecked. Depending on the user's cell phone service plan, they may be charged for text messages. Our publishing options, we will keep the default, so the page will be seen on our booking page. The online scheduling options we'll keep as default because we're going to follow the schedule that we have in our business hours and on our booking page. Now let's go to the very top, and the last thing we need to do is assign a staff to this particular service. And we're choosing my name. Once you click here, it'll put a check mark as the staff assigned to this service. Click Save, and that does it for our services configuration. At the booking page, at the start, you'll notice that there is nothing in this link area because your page has not been saved and published yet. Below, you have some settings that you can turn on for this configuration page as well. By default, these two areas on the booking page access control are left unchecked. We recommend you do the same. If students are going to access this page, they'll need to be able to see it. So you don't want to check this first one. So keep that default for now as we move down. I have changed my scheduling policies as well. The time increment that I have is 15 minutes. The time that they're available to meet with me would be in 15-minute increments, such as 8 o'clock, 8:15, 8:30, and so on and so forth. The minimum lead time is the time that a user will see my next availability. So if they're looking at my calendar at 8 o'clock this morning, they won't be able to book time with me until 9 o'clock. The maximum lead time I've set for 180 days. That's when someone can look out on my calendar that far to set a meeting with me. As we move down to email notifications, I have selected both of these options to notify the business via email when the booking is created or changed, and also send a meeting invite to the customer in addition to the confirmation email. Next is the staff area where it says allow customers to choose a specific person for booking. For me, I've unchecked this because I don't want the users to choose anyone other than me. even though I'm the only one there. Remember, this application is designed to have several staff members who can be selected for a particular service. As we move down to availability, we also kept that as default, which is bookable when staff are free. If we scroll up to the top, you have your customize your page option, which you can choose a specific color or choose this option, always show time slots in business time zone. It's just something to keep you consistent in how your times are viewed. Now, once we're complete with all of our configurations on this page, you'll first have to choose Save and Publish. Once you do that, you'll see a link here that you can actually copy and paste somewhere. But let's view the page first before we move on. If you go to Open Publish Page, it takes you to the actual booking page so you can see what users find. Again, if we go here and click a service, if you notice at the bottom, my scheduled times open up, and here you have 9:30 to 9:45, that 15-minute increment. You scroll down, the user can enter in their information, put a note, and book the meeting. Now, as we go back, once you go to your calendar, you'll see who has set a meeting with you, so you can see those details here as well. And you go to home and you get a summary of your activity for 30 days. This concludes our session on configuring Microsoft Booking. I hope you received some valuable information, and again, thank you for joining.